Hi, this is Sonia, and today the objective of my video is to show you a little bit about the process of doing interior book design. And I've set up a whole bunch of different files so that I can show you the process of what it takes to find some raw text. And in this particular instance, I found it at Project Gutenberg, and it is a collection of Anton Chekhov's short stories. It's in the public domain. I'm not violating any copyright, and besides, at this point, I'm not going to be selling any. I just want to do this for educational purposes at the moment. So this isn't exactly a tutorial because I won't be slowing down to talk about every single aspect of book design or about how InDesign works. But I thought maybe people who love to read might like to know a little bit of the sausage about what you consider when you're laying out the interior of a book. So what we're going to do is I am going to open up a blank InDesign file. I've set this up with margins. I've set this up with its margins, and that's really all you'll see. And so where this square is here is where the text file will be. And this is what a spread looks like. So you've got the recto and verso. The verso and the recto. Recto is right and verso is left. This is where the gutter is here, and so everything around the box is where the white space is, and white space is very important in book design. If you don't have enough space and you ignore margins, then it's going to be very hard to read. And I also feel that you need to have a good amount of space between the lines of text, and that's called the leading, and that goes back to the days of typography when they were actually setting the lead letters in the press. And so a lot of the vernacular that we use now in book design came from those original days of printing presses. But now we do everything digitally. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one short story the first short story in the collection. And so what we do is we place the file. It's called placing instead of importing for whatever reason. And we are placing the story Nervous Breakdown. So I click that. And you can see in the cursor itself that it looks like there is text. So I know I've got text loaded up into the cursor. And I click it once, and sure enough, there is the first bit of text. Down here, you can see this little plus sign down here. That means there's more text than is actually showing up. So that whole text box is the entire story at the moment. And what we like to do, or what I like to do in my process, is to style the text with the style that is used predominantly within the actual design. So in this case, I have a style called body text. Now, I don't have any of the styles here in this document, so I'm going to load them from another document where I have completed the actual project. So I'm going to load all the text styles, and I'm going to the styles document I set up. I'm going to bring them all in, and sure enough, here you go. You can see body text first paragraph, if there's an epigraph, if there's a section number, anything that I've got that I've anticipated we need, I've created a style for. When I brought in this story, A Nervous Breakdown is the title, so that should be on its own line. And you can see all these little blue paragraph code. This is the code. So everywhere where there's a paragraph return sign right there is where a paragraph return is. And when you're in Word, and Word is a fine product and I like it, but InDesign so much better, we don't use paragraph returns for spacing. We build all of the spacing into the actual paragraph style. So I do not want there to ever be two paragraph returns. And so I'm going to go through and get rid of those. I'm going to change all the paragraph styles. If there are two in a row, they will be found, and I'm going to turn them into one. So you can see two paragraph returns side by side will get turned into one. So I'm going to just change it all 207 paragraph returns are eliminated. But I haven't applied any styles, and so this is not something that you would want to read in a book. So I'm going to highlight everything, and that includes the text that's hidden in this little plus sign, and apply the body text. And there you go. I've got a baseline grid that's set up to the same leading. That's the leading number right there. It's set at 11 points. The type size itself is 11 points, and the type in between is 14 points. So the baseline grid, which I will show you, is set up to 14 points. So every single, and the point of all of this is that when you have two pages side by side like this, all of the text, when you read across the gutter, lines up. So you know that that's something that's important in book design, is that the verso and recto pages text lines up across the gutter, if that's the design. So let's just see how the rest of this text looks. I'm going to click the plus sign, and you can see that the cursor is loaded up with more text. And I'm going to hit the Shift key, and all of the text of the story shows up on all, and it comes out to 22 pages from the 3 that we initially set up. Now I'm going to turn off the baseline grid. It's not turned off, but you can't see it now, so it's not distracting, and this is easier to see. Now it comes the point in the story where I have to go through and style the rest of the text, because this is not supposed to be body text, it's supposed to be story title text. So I'm going to click story title, and as you can see, white space got added. This story moves down because it's built into the style. The very first paragraph after a title or a section break is usually not indented, so I've created a style called body text first paragraph. And that way, when we turn on, you can see that there is no indentation in the first paragraph, and that's very standard in book layout. And now I just have to go through and find all the weird things. You can see here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. On this page, somebody got very excited to use the spacebar key, and you can see all of these little dots represent the spacebar being depressed. So I need to get rid of those because that messes up the paragraph. And so I'm going to go through here and delete that. I'm going to go down, and we see a lot of double dashes, and those are double hyphens, and we don't want double hyphens, we want M dashes. M dashes are what we use in typography, and an M dash is the length of the letter of small case m in the typeface. So you can put M spaces or M dashes, and they're going to be a set length. Anyway, the M dash is what we use in book layout. So I'm going to do a search for all of the double hyphens, and I'm going to change them to M dashes. And I'm going to just go ahead and change them all. 23 replacements made. And you can see that now we've got M dashes instead of double spaces. If you ever see double spaces, that's something that should be fixed. I'm going to, let's see what else. This is a section number. So I'm going to go through and find the section numbers. And I'm going to make sure that the first paragraph after a section number does not have an indentation. For some reason, I'm not seeing these because I'm trying to do it on the fly. Let's see. I'm going to do a search for IV. Section number. section number. Now this is something that I would not like to see in my layout, is a section starting so low down on the page, so far down. So I'm going to go ahead and jump that to the next page so that it starts at the top, and that looks a lot better. And another thing I don't like is we've got like an orphan word right here by itself from a previous paragraph. So we have to go through and change the spacing a little bit in a paragraph above where that thing is happening so that it will pull it up. But we don't have to do that because there was an extra paragraph there. Let's see, going through, checking it all out. I'm being very cursory here because you get the idea. There's just lots of little mistakes, like right here. There's a paragraph return after the quotation mark, and we don't want that. That's not where a paragraph should be. So I need to go through, I'm going to do that off camera, go through and fix all of the little problems. Another thing I will fix off camera are all the ellipses. These are all set very weirdly. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. These are set so they look very odd. Let's go through it one more time before we export. Those look good at the tops. Those look okay at the bottoms. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but just trying to show you, okay, we can't have this. Artist as he dance dipping down. So I'm going to change this and it brings up the line. Oh, and then we have a problem. I want that at the top of the page. Going through, that looks good, that looks good. This looks okay. Oh, we've got another orphaned word. I'm going to change the tracking. The tracking are the spaces that are individually calculated by the computer and by the processor for the spacing between the individual letters of a sentence. And so I've got it set to 10, which is a little bit looser than you normally would have, so that then I can tighten it back up again when I need to get something to move up or down on the page. That looks good, that looks good, good, good. Looks okay, looks okay. And so now I'm going to, well, I think we really should have some master pages with page numbers on them. So since all of these would require a page number, I'm just going to go ahead and update the master and put page numbers on the master. So I'm going to create a text box that's the same width as the other text box ahead of it. Let's see. And we'll find out exactly how big this text box is. It is 4.4 inches wide, and so I want this box to be 4.4 inches wide. And I'm going to duplicate it. No, first I'm going to add a page number. So I go to type, and then I add insert special character, and it's a marker, and it's the current page number. And I'm going to apply the style, the page number style to it. And then, so what this is a text variable. And so InDesign has so many great little tricks for automating everything. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Okay, so now all of the pages have page numbers. Master pages are great because there are oftentimes in books particular pages that would not require a page number for some reason, or require some other typographical anomaly too. So you change everything, you set everything up in a master page and then apply it as needed to your pages, and then it just automates everything. So for now, that's it. I'm going to export as a PDF, and now you can see the story laid out. And what my plan is to go ahead and style all the rest of the text, and then come back and show you what the entire book looks like, with all of the front matter pages, including the table of contents, and so that you can see what the entire document looks like. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have styled the entire book. The front here is the title page with a title and author. And then we have the copyright page, and I took the metadata right out of the Project Gutenberg file to put on the copyright page. And next we have the table of contents, which is automatically generated inside InDesign based on the story titles. So it's something that's interactive, and you set it up so that you can say it pulls all of the story titles and then formats them however you have set up the styles. So I set up the styles so that I would have more of a left and right indent for the table of contents, and it looks very elegant and nice without the dots. I don't know if you've noticed sometimes on tables of content that you will see, like, they're called leader dots in between the end of the title and then the page number, and I really don't like that look. So when I design books, I never put those in unless a client really wants me to. And then we start with the stories. We've got the title of the story, we've got the non-indented first line, and we've got the page numbers. And then I went ahead and put in running heads for all of the rest of the pages. So you get the author name on the left, and then the story title for whatever story you're on the right hand side at the top. And then we've got page numbers at the bottom. New story, a nervous breakdown, and so forth. And the entire book is set up this way. And it goes all the way down 170 pages, and I think it turned out really nice. I think it's pretty. I like the typeface that we chose, which is Garamond Premier Pro, and I just used the same type family for everything. So that is this book, and I'm going to export it to a PDF, and it would be print ready if we would send it to a printer. Print it all out. Print. Oh no. 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 Cancel. Yes. Oh Lord. Okay, cut. That was a panic. I don't want to print all those. No, let's export it, not print. And this is the complete checkoff. Save. Export to a PDF. And it's thinking, and it's working, and it's processing, and soon it will pop up on the screen and we can see what it looks like. There it is. Here's the story. Here's the book. And that's all there is to it. If you have any questions in the comments, I'd love to talk to you about it. And if you would like to see me just lay out books without the instruction, but just kind of as a meditative thing, I'd love to do that too. I do have a text file of Shakespeare sonnets, and I was thinking of trying to recreate a book that was printed in the 1920s and try and duplicate the typography of that book. So if anyone's interested in that type of a video, I think I will be really into making something like that. And that's all I've got for now, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.